live together. We're gonna have a good message. Oh, I closed the tab. Or did oh no, I never did it. I never did it. Okay, never mind. I ain't even go live. I ain't even much go live over to there. Great morning. Great morning. Hold on, let me get that set up and get my life in order so I can see my comments and stuff on this side of the screen. Great morning, great morning, great morning, great people. How are y'all doing this morning? Welcome to this morning's message. I hope y'all enjoyed meditation. Um, OMG, OMG. Y'all like the live, share the live, share the love. Drop something in the chat that you're grateful for this morning. Let's get in the flow of abundance. I'm gonna try to do this. I don't know why my eyesight feel a little off today, but we're gonna have a good message this morning. But I'm finna tell somebody. Y'all know it's Wednesday, so we got y'all know it's Shadow Work Wednesday, so we got some stuff we're gonna deal with today. We're gonna talk about it. So trigger warning. Um, I am going to share some things with y'all this morning. So just kind of be prepared for that. Y'all know it's Shadow Work Wednesday. Look, the moon card, the ancestors name over there. I don't know. Y'all said which ones we was going to use, but we got a good scripture that we doing this morning. So we excited about that. Y'all like the live, share the love. How are y'all feeling this morning? Spirit and them said they happy I be here because they less frustrated now. Well, oh, let's do it. Let's get to it. We so happy and so grateful you are here, dearest one. They be knowing, child. They be knowing. It is a great morning indeed, and amen. True beauty in the building. What's happening, honey, woney? Shout out to the community. Look, there go the strength card right there. Go to Ace of Swords. The truth is the truth.com. Great morning, 2024. How you doing, honey, honey? Good morning, Cherie. Yeah, child. We finna deal with some family issues today. I'm finna tell y'all. Now, let me just tell you, let me preface this real quick. Well, it's because I can say it if I want to, because who gonna check me? Because this the thing. The problem be now this is Shadow Work Wednesday, and typically on Wednesdays, y'all, we got to start delving into the things that um a lot of times we don't talk about, we hold on to, but we actually need to let go of so that we can make room, right? So we can make room to receive the things that the Lord wants to bring in. It's going to take a little strength. Come on, God, we receive it. It's going to look, they ended up together anyway. Going to take a little strength because a lot of times, these are the hardest issues that we have to work through, and they're the issues that run the deepest because a lot of them stem from family, people who are very close to us. I hope, let me check this microphone, y'all, because I did not do that. 1 second. Uno momento, Nim. Like the live shit. Yep, see, I knew it. Let me my microphone. Okay, I'm back. Like the live, share the love, and yes, sometimes the truth hurts, but that means that we still got to face it. We still got to deal with it, right? We still have to be willing to look at the things that oftentimes hurt us the deepest so that we can start healing from those things. Drop this in the chat before we get ready to go this morning. Healing works. Healing works. Okay, healing works. So this message, this will we okay. Let's. I don't know which deck it's in, but we going to some scripture this morning. Um, and this particular scripture, it's actually in one of these oracle decks, and I don't know which one. I don't know. I'm not really worried about which one it's in, but listen. We're going to Psalms 121 this morning. We're going to Psalms 121 this morning. Drop this in the chat. Here we go, y'all. Security. Now, I almost said security deposit, and you could put that, I guess, security deposit, because we're gonna make some deposits today, as y'all see. So let me start off with this and just give y'all a little backstory, right? Y'all like the live, share the live, share the love. Great morning, Jamila. Great morning, Sandy. Security deposit, right? Okay, well, I could tell them, first of all, the fasting, I got to try that over because I just do. I really only eat one time a day anyway, but don't be judging me, okay? So I needed some energy because I really haven't been eating a lot, but I ate some red beans and rice with my daughter yesterday. Jay Causey, I seen you cooking some, child. That's what we ate yesterday after we went to the gym. Okay, I'm back. Listen. security deposit. We're going to Psalms 121, and I'm going to read the whole Psalms 121, and then we're going to talk about some things that happen and even the reason why I don't have makeup on today. Like the Lord is very strategic, y'all. Um, he's very strategic in just the way that he wants to prove a point and make people understand that some of the things that we feel like we need in order to feel secure, that ain't what we need. Really, our security truly does come from the Lord. Let's read Psalms 121 real quick, and then we'll go deeper into that. Here we go. Grab your handy dandy Bible if you have it. I look up to the mountains. Does my help come from there? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He will not let you stumble. The one who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel never slumbers or sleeps. The Lord himself, remember this, the Lord himself watches over you. The Lord stands beside you as your protective shade. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon at night. The Lord keeps you from all harm and watches over your life. The Lord keeps watch over you as you come and go, both now and forever. Drop this in the chat. I got the Lord. I got the Lord. Now we talk about security deposit, right? We're talking about security deposit. So let me give y'all the backstory on why the Lord. Now I didn't know exactly where this was going, but there was a series of events that happened in my own life, and I'm gonna share them with y'all. That made me just understand this particular psalm even more, right? To make me know that the Lord is really on my side. So y'all know Tuesdays I go hang out with my daughter. She stays kind of on the east side of San Diego. And so I go hang out with my daughter. Now, trigger warning, because somebody, you might feel some type of way, but let me just say this one thing right here. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. This is why this is why our relationship with the Lord is so important. Father God, let me say that because you'll understand as as this story continues to evolve. I spend Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays I spend with my daughter, right? That's our day where we go to the gym and we go to the sauna and we just hang out. We usually have like eat lunch or something after we go to the gym. That's how I had the red beans and rice yesterday. We had that for lunch. And so Tuesdays are my day to spend with her. So, as y'all know, I'm in the process of rebuilding my life, right? What? I got to put my glasses on today. Okay, well, hold on. As y'all know, I'm in the process of rebuilding my life, right? And the Lord is helping me to do that. I got the Lord. So, one of the things that, man, this is so much. It's going to be so much that I got to say. So, let me try to get it. Oh, yeah, child, because now I can see y'all real good. Okay, I'm back. Listen. So, as I'm rebuilding my life, there are certain things that I'm not able to do insofar as helping my daughter, right? I do what I can. She's working, she's doing very well. She's working and taking care of it, but there are things that because it's stuff that I don't even have that I'm not able to do yet because like I don't have a physical address, right? So there was this one particular thing, and I'm gonna say this again. Can't nobody tell me about my truth. And I don't use my platforms to be negative in any way. Y'all know this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to speak truth because I'm not going to, as I've told y'all before, I'm not going to allow people to ever paint a negative narrative of me, especially when you trying to make me look bad to my children. Now, mind you, the people that I'm referencing, and I'm going to be very clear about who I'm referencing because I have no problems doing that. But it also, the reason we're talking about this is because a lot of times it is these very same relationships that we place value on that actually we need to minimize. Remember, we've been talking about priorities this week. It's why the Lord will start to show you why some relationships shouldn't carry the weight in your life, even though they shouldn't carry the weight in your life that you give them. They shouldn't have as much impact in your life as you give them. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure, and I'm always going to speak truth, and I am not afraid to talk about things in my own life. I'm not afraid to talk about my dysfunctional family. I'm not afraid to talk about the family members who don't like me. I'm not afraid of any of that. Because why? Because I'm not going to let you paint a negative narrative of me when I know that I'm out here doing God's work. Okay, drop that in the chat. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to say that I found, I've been telling y'all, and I want you to start, but I'm using me. So hopefully my prayer is that you won't be afraid to face things in your own life, to face family members in your own life. And one thing about me, y'all, is I know the work that I'm doing for the Lord. Do you know what a blessing it is to go on any of my platforms or to come on here or to receive messages from people that tell me, man, this message really helped me? Because I'm not giving y'all anything that I have done. I'm telling you to go read the Bible and go read Psalms and go talk to God and go pray. Like, I'm not telling you to do anything that God is not telling me to do, first of all. But second of all, I'm not afraid to also tell you that it's sometimes it's the people that are closest to you that you have to look at and say, who really knows God? Do I know who has a better relationship with God, you or me? Now, I don't feel like I have the end all and be all relationship with the Lord, but I know who I serve. Okay. So I'm gonna say that, and I'm just gonna be honest. I don't see people, the difference between me and you and some people that talk about you, they're talking about you in private, but I'm going to talk about you in public. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it so it's recorded and it's live. And whoever, if you got something to say, I'm going to keep calling you a coward, whether you family or not, because I'm not going to talk about you in private like you're doing me. I'm going to talk about you in public, because I'm not afraid to speak my truth. What you are speaking is not the truth. So therefore, when you are courageous enough, because the Lord had to give me some courage, because I didn't really want to do it. And the Lord said, no, you're gonna do this morning. So needless to say, it's so many things, and I want to try to get it out. But I need you to understand once again that there are some relationships, and it can be the relationships that are closest to you. It can be a spouse, it can be a mother, it can be a father, it can be a sister, it can be a brother, it can be a child that will hurt you the most, unless you go right over here to Psalms 21, 121, and realize that God, the Lord. This don't say your earthly father. It doesn't say your earthly mother. It doesn't say your earthly family. It says the Lord. I look to the mountains from whence cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. My security comes from the Lord. So the Lord even had me to come as I am today. As y'all see, I have on no makeup, no nothing. Why? Because there's so many. I hope I can get all of this out the way the Lord is. So many things that I got to touch on. So I hope y'all just stay tracking with me. First things first, what we not going to do is we not going to hide. I don't hide behind makeup. I wear makeup because I love to wear makeup. Do you understand? I am very secure in who I am. I'm secure with every mole on my face. I'm secure with this puffy eyelid. I'm secure with my teeth. I'm secure with my nose. I'm secure with every part of me. I'm secure with my foompa loompa doompity doo. I'm secure with my 220 pounds. I am secure in who I am. I do not hide behind any mask. I do not hide behind any keyboards. I do not hide behind any screens. I am very secure in who I am. Do you understand? Sometimes people hide behind things, right? because we hide behind a mask, or some people wear makeup because they're insecure with their face, or their people go and get plastic surgery. No knock, do you, boo. But people go get plastic surgery because they want to look a certain way. No, I'm very secure with every part of me, every inch, every piece, every pound, every ounce. So the Lord said, today we going to come as we are, and we're going to be authentic, because guess what? When I go to the Lord, I look like this with these little plaits in my head, because I ain't got but about 2 good inches of hair. With these little plaits in my head, I come to the Lord just as I am, because I'm very secure in who I am. So the Lord made me prove a point today to say, we're not going to hide behind, no, we're not going to hide behind our insecurities. We're going to be confident, because when you go to the Lord, you go to the Lord naked. You can't hide nothing from him. You can't hide your fear. Because he already knows you. And so the Lord said, we're gonna be real authentic today. Okay. We're gonna be real authentic. And I say, okay, Lord, I'm with it if you with it. So we're not gonna hide behind old pain. We're not gonna hide behind trauma. Because some of us, we also hide it when we hide behind that pain and that trauma from people who have hurt us or who are attempting to hurt us. It makes us put on a facade or a mask with other people that we're dealing with. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing. We come in real authentic today, real come as you are kind of energy. Now, Tuesdays are spent with my daughter. You realize that I tell y'all this all the time. Like, one of the things that I value more than anything is my relationship with my children. Okay. um because I hadn't always had the best relationship with my children. Why? Because of the traumas I put them through, the pain I subjected them through when I was going through my unhealed stage, my toxic stages. They have had to do their own healing with me, right? Because of what I put them through. This is accountability. I've apologized to my children. We still have, for the most part, I feel like we've done the healing, because the relationships are flourishing, right? I have great relationships with my children. But let me tell you something. Trigger warning. This is why I love the Lord so much. True story. Y'all know I've been telling y'all, if you pray and you ask the Lord to reveal and remove the people in your life who don't have your best intentions at heart, he will show you, correct? So yesterday, somebody who doesn't have my best interest at heart was revealed to me. And again, it didn't. Now, I'm not gonna lie. At first I was mad. I was. And I did. I said them cuss words that don't come out. Before I said them, I did go to daddy. I say, Daddy, you're gonna have to give me a couple, because I'm gonna get this off my chest. I'm not gonna say them today because I said them yesterday. It was like 2 good cuss words. I had to get them out of my spiritual. I was channeling you. Now I be understanding why my mama be mad sometimes. Now I wasn't crying. I ain't even on that, right? But I was mad yesterday. I said a couple of expletives, and I mean them was the expletives, okay? Them was the ones that I don't pull out very often, but I said them because I was angry. I wasn't hurt. I was angry. Why was I angry? Because the person who happens to be my earthly father, because yes, like I said, I'm not gonna cut no corners on this. I'm not. I ain't gonna cut no corners. I'm gonna say who it was, and I'm gonna say what he did, and I'm gonna say why I was mad. And I don't feel no type of way about it. Why? Because he didn't feel no type of way trying to poison my daughter against me. Do you understand? What you not gonna Let me tell somebody this. Lord have mercy on my spirituals. What you not Let me tell somebody. If you ever in your life want to see Touche become unglued, ever, I don't care what you say about me. I don't Come on, Mama, Earl, somebody tell him. If you ever want to see me get out of character, and I mean out of pocket, mess with my children. I'm finna say a cuss word. Can I? Lord knows it's on because it's in my spirituals. If you ever want to see me come out of character and become unglued, play with my children. Because when it comes to my children, ain't no play in my spirit. Do you understand what I'm saying? I play, y'all know I'm all laughter, I'm all jokes, I'm all happiness, I'm all peace, I'm all prosperity, I'm all that. But if you ever want to see me, and I mean see me, mess with my children. Because the one thing on earth that I do not play about are my kids. Why? Because there were times and things that I put my children through that compromised them because of who I was at that time. But even then, there were things that and a lot of things that happened. It was as a result of me because so that even though I felt like that then, my toxic self still put my children in situations that I'll never be able to take back. Do you understand? That I'll never be able to fix, that I'll never be able to change. And so if you ever want to see me mess with my children, because I'm gonna give you everything that you're looking for, because ain't no play in my spirituals when it comes to my kids. So yesterday, good morning, y'all. Good morning. My daughter, and this why my daughter was mad yesterday. So I'm driving over there. But let me just tell y'all how the devil tried to get me yesterday. Because I can't make this up. So I'm talking usually like when I get off the live, my daughter actually called at the end of the live. I wait till she wakes up, then I go to her house, and then we hang out for the day. And so I'm on the phone with her going to her house, and she's like, Mom, I gotta tell you something. And I was like, okay, well, what's up? She was like, I'm gonna wait till you get here. I say, well, is it bad? She say, message? Well, kinda. I was like, is it about me? And she was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, girl, So she was like, but she was angry about it. And so I get over there and she commences to tell me that there was something that my daughter needed help with that I couldn't do anyway, right? And so she needed my lot. She needed my dad. I'm gonna call him my dad because he's my earthly father. She needed his help with something that I couldn't do anything about. Y'all, he had already been giving her the runaround about getting this particular thing done. So he finally did it yesterday. But this is what made her angry. Now, this made my daughter angry, which in turn made me angry. He told her, or he asked her, she said he looked her right in her eyes and asked her, was she doing what she was doing to help me? He thought that she was doing something to help me. And so he was not going to help her if she was asking for his help to help me. Now, this is the first time that my daughter has really told me because I don't ask. I don't ask, I don't talk about my dad. Y'all very rarely hear me mention him. And so it was at this point yesterday that my daughter said it was the final straw for her. And normally she doesn't tell me anything, y'all. But remember, reveal and remove. And so she needed to have her moment where she expressed to me that she was so tired of people trying to turn her against me. And I couldn't do nothing but just sit there and just listen and let her say what she wanted to say. She was like, every time that she talks to my dad or my sister, that all they talk about is me, and everything is negative. Everything. And she was so in her feelings about it. And she don't know that I'm even talking about this, but she's not going to care, because she was like, "Mama, I'm so tired of it." She was like, she was like, at the end of the day, she was like, "You still my mama. Like, what are they trying to accomplish?" And the things that they're saying to her, right, is what is bothering her. And she was like, "I see you every week, and me and my daughter talk all throughout the week as well." She was like, "I know you're fine." And I actually shared this with TU a couple of on Sunday, right? That my dad a couple of months ago called one of his friends who I don't really even know and told this man that I was crazy, and they were going to try to get me committed into a hospital because I needed help. I'm not making this up because I don't lie. I'm saying this in the presence of the Lord. This was just a couple months ago. When I first got back to San Diego, my son was here, and because I'm not going to go and get a job and do what they're asking me to do, or they want me to do. Because mind you, nobody's saying anything to me, right? But what they're doing is they're saying this to my child. And I had to ask the Lord, because at first I wouldn't go. I was like, "No, Dad, I ain't even gonna say nothing." My first thought was I wanted to call this man, and I was gonna channel my whole mama in spirit, and I was gonna cuss him all the way out. And the Lord said, "No, that's not what you're gonna do." The Lord said, "You just gonna talk about it. Because what I'm not gonna let you do is paint your picture of me, because you're a coward and won't say what you want to say to me. You didn't call you talking to my daughter, and why do you think you don't, y'all?" Come on, Lord. Y'all, I had such a moment yesterday. And that's why I say, Lord, I thank you for forgiveness. I thank you that I'm so secure in the Lord that I'm able to just completely release this relationship with love, light, and healing energy. I'm going to pray for you, dearest one. I'm going to pray for you, because you and I, as much as you a pastor, you and I are not serving the same God. Y'all, my daughter, who's not necessarily on a walk with the Lord, even my daughter said yesterday, she said, "If you are a Christian, how are you talking to about your daughter like this?" And I'm sitting there looking at my daughter, because mind you, understand this, that love of the Lord, that light of the Lord, it will rub off in the places that you be like, "Oh my gosh, like how am I?" Here's my daughter. She was like, "Well, Mama only talk about God and Jesus and the Bible, and that's all her messages are about, and all she telling people to do is read the Bible." She say, "Mama, I ain't trying to be funny, but I don't think y'all serving the same God." What you say? Out of the mouth of babes. What you say, Lord? Out of the mouth of babes. She say, "Cause you don't ever even talk about him." because I don't. She was like, but every opportunity that he has an opportunity, he has something negative to say about me. He told her that I'm poisoning her. He said that I'm poisoning her. Let me just say this to somebody. You ever read the Bible and you hear you talk about Jesus talk about the Pharisees? You ever seen a Pharisee in real life? And again, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm not gonna cuss you out. I'm not gonna talk down on you. I'm gonna pray for you. Do you realize that I understand why the Lord sent me back to San Diego? Y'all remember I was back in Texas, right? I was in Texas to be there for my oldest daughter last summer. But now I'm back in California in San Diego to be here for my youngest daughter. Why? Because come on, God, if it wasn't for the Lord placing me back here, there would be people who would be able to spew this venom and this poison and this negativity, which I'm not on, to my daughter to try to make her feel some type of way about me. But you know what the Lord did? The Lord made sure that me and my daughter spend time together every Tuesday and every Thursday. The Lord made sure that when I go over there, I'm talking to my daughter. Come on, grandma, that I'm talking to my daughter about the Lord and Jesus and God and the goodness of the Lord. And man, I don't know, but the Lord still blessing me and everything come out my mouth. This is why when I read Psalms 26, I'm like, I didn't walk in my integrity. I'm not going around talking about my family members. I'm not talking down on y'all. I'm not what? Even if they don't agree, even if they don't agree with how I'm living my life, it ain't your business because I'm out here serving God in the way that God told me to serve God. And if you don't understand that, you can't know Jesus. There's no way. I don't care how many churches you preach at. I don't care how many people you think you. I don't care if you think you walking in holiness and righteousness. I'm here to tell you that you a lie. So when I tell you that your family, your family, and do you also understand that I'm doing this so that my family can be saved? The Lord told me the other day, he said, when I bless you, this blessing ain't for them. Here's me. Yes, it is, Lord, because you put me in this position so I can make life better for everybody. And then all of a sudden the Lord say, oh yeah, these are people even though you have the heart. Do you understand that's why God keep blessing me? That's why he not going to stop blessing me, because I'm trying to do things so I can help people come out of the pit. The same folks talking about me, I'm trying to lift you up and I'm trying to help you to have a better life. But this is before, but you gonna have a dip. Oh no, that you right. No, they not, because then they gonna say I sold my soul to the devil. Thank y'all for letting me know what's coming, because that's who they think I'm serving. They say I'm serving the devil and that, I done sold my soul. Well, hell, if I done sold my soul, he must not be giving out no good paychecks. Because best I know, people who done sold their soul, they not living in their car preaching about Jesus. Oh, they're not telling people to follow Jesus, go read the Bible. They're not. I don't think that's what the devil do. I don't think that's the type of time he on. When you sell your soul, don't he give you like all these worldly things, and I don't know, because I ain't never did, and I don't really know nothing too much about that. Don't he give you stuff, but you got to worship yourself? I don't worship self, I worship God. I be trying to talk to God and tell folks about God and be talking about faith. Come on, faith with the I, that's what is that what the enemy teaching? I don't think that's what he teaching. I think he trying to teach people to do everything but serve God, right? Anyway, I'm back. So listen, y'all. So don't think that when I tell y'all, when I be up here and I'm giving these messages, and I told TU this just Sunday, had no idea when I talked to TU about this on Sunday that these things were going to happen. No clue. But here we are. Lord, reveal and remove the people around me who don't have my best intentions at heart. A lot of times you don't expect it to be the people who the Lord reveals to you. Even though I know that my dad's ideas of God and Jesus differ, because he's so worried about the method that he misses the message. And y'all know me, it's not about the method. It ain't about these tarot cards. It's about the message. If you can't get past a piece of paper with a picture on it, then you're not hearing God. You're not. Because God don't care nothing about that. You reading a book, this is words. If you can believe in the Bible, how can you not get past? This is just a flimsy tarot card. This piece is just a flimsy tarot card. Make it make sense, right? And so some people cannot get past the method to hear the message. And that's why God be like, listen, it's some folks who done fell off who think that they still serving me, but they have lost sight of who I actually am. And I am not here to pass judgment, because that is not my job. But what you're not going to do is tell me who I'm serving. I'm serving in a greater capacity than you. Are you mad because of my relationship with God? Are you mad? What you mad at? What you mad at? What is it about what I'm doing that makes you feel so angry? That makes you feel like you need to go and say these things about me? And I told my daughter yesterday, I was like, man, I was like, sometimes you don't be understanding the stories in the Bible, but it made me completely understand Jesus in a way that I didn't understand Jesus before. Because you remember that Jesus died. All he did was walk around and do good. All he did was heal people. All he did was give people hope and faith. That's all he did. He didn't hurt nobody. He didn't do anything negative to anybody. All he did was walk around and help people and heal people and make people believe in God again, and they killed him. Didn't care nothing about all the people he helped. Didn't care how many people he gave faith to. All they believed in, all they wanted to talk about was he got to be of the devil. When did you talk about the good things he did? Because there's not a single thing bad that they can say that Jesus did. Good morning, dearest one. So it was at this very moment, not that I didn't know Jesus before, because of course I do. I have an amazing relationship with Jesus. But yesterday, all I could do was just sit and be like, Lord, this is exactly what you went through. This is what it means when you read through in the New Testament and he says that people are going to turn against you, mother against daughter, and children against parents, and brother against sister. Like, this is what it means when it says you're going to be persecuted. Didn't he tell that to his disciples? You're going to be persecuted and people ain't going to like you, and you're going to be judged and by people, and all you doing is good. All you doing is trying to help people to know God a little better, not on your terms, on your own terms. I'm not telling you to listen to what I say. I'm like, hey, can y'all go read the Bible, because it's trying to tell you how to fix your life. Hey, can you go read the Bible and talk to God? Hey, can you go pray? Because I think if you pray, I know, well, not think, I know. If you pray, then God is going to help you. Hey, can you go talk to God? Wants you, that daddy said he wants you. Daddy want to talk to you. Hey, can you, like, y'all, this is not the book of Touche. This is the Bible, right? And I just be so blown. But anyway, so I wanted to share that. So let me tell y'all how else the devil was busy yesterday. So get over that. And I was just like, you know what? Whatever, Lord. It is what it is. We go to the gym, we hang out, we come. So my daughter ended up having to do something. I'm cooking for my daughter and stuff. So end of the day, here I go. I get to my car, y'all. They told me two different times. The Lord told me two times in my spirit, y'all. Two times. I had this little trigger warning and I heard it twice. The first time I heard it, we was getting ready to go to the gym and I heard self say, um, I was like, oh, did I cover, is my gun in a secure place? Right? Security. We coming back to all of it. It's coming full circle. Security. Is my gun in a secure place? Because I don't have tint on my windows, y'all. So you can see in my car. And I was like, yeah, I got it. I got her. I got Lucille secure. She good. We going to the gym. So then when we're coming back from the gym, I remember myself saying, let me look at my car because kid y'all not, y'all. I was like, let me make sure all the windows good in my car. Cause I had to park a little further down from where I normally park. So I looked at my car. I was like, okay, she's straight. I go on upstairs. I cook. Me and my daughter watched this show that we're both watching on Netflix. And so I was like, okay, I'm finna go ahead and go. I had to go to the gym and I was like, I'm finna go ahead and go. I get to my car and on my dashboard, on my dashboard, there's a little screen that you can use and it shows you all kind of stuff, like shows you your speedometer, things like that. Y'all, why? First of all, when I unlock my car, my alarm beeped 3 times. And I was like, huh, that's weird. Get in the car because I had never heard it before. Get in my car. Why? There's a notification on my screen in my car that says theft warning. Why? Somebody tried to steal my car yesterday. I cannot make this up. I have the picture. I can send y'all the pic. I can show y'all the picture because I sent it to my daughter because I was like, WTF? So I was like, okay. I ain't get mad or nothing. I said, okay, Lord. Okay. So immediately I remembered that there were two little warning bells that had went off in my spirituals, right? And I was like, man, that's why. And so I went on, went took my shower and stuff. And I was just like, well, it is what it is. I ain't get mad or nothing, y'all. I really didn't. I was just like, well, Lord, they must have needed it more than I did. And I had a moment and let's just give God some glory real quick. Because I said, and this is why, even though I didn't know it then, this is why when the Lord put this on the schedule, on the calendar for today, because he put this on the calendar last week. And so it's so amazing to me how strategic and how the Lord will just allow things to happen. No, they didn't take Lucille. I still got Lucille. They couldn't get in. That was the problem. They couldn't get in. So they were whenever, and I don't have like OnStar connected, but they couldn't get in. But when you try to open the door without the key fob and it's locked, about a bell ringing, girl, you done said it. You just said it. So I told the Lord yesterday, I say, Daddy, true story. I say, Daddy, I said, it's got to be. I said, something. I was like, Daddy. And for a second, I just kind of sat. And I, even now, like I can feel the tears behind my eyes because I was just like, I say, Lord, I said, it got to be a blessing coming. I said, it's got to be something, Dad. I say, because the devil is on my ass. I was like, he on me. I was like, but you know what I did? I prayed. I prayed Psalms 91. And I said, I gave thanks to God. And I thanked my mama and my spirit team and my angels. Because I said, do you know how covered you got to be? I had to plead the blood of Jesus over me, my children, my family, my community, and their families. Because I said, I'm looking around and I say, I ain't never had nobody try to mess with my car. I ain't never, I had, y'all remember, if you remember this, y'all remember back at the beginning of the year when I was still on food stamps. Some of y'all don't know this. The Lord required of me to give up food stamps, government assistance. He said, no, you're not going to keep those. You have to rely on me as your source and your resource, because I was getting food stamps and the Lord said, you need to give those up too. And so I say, what, Lord? How am I going to eat? And the Lord said, I'm going to make sure that you eat. And so what did I do? I gave them up. So I had to depend on the Lord to provide every meal and everything. And I started thinking about that. And I say, Lord, it just is so amazing how no matter what situation the enemy however he tries to come at me, it doesn't mean that things don't happen. But when I tell y'all the way my faith is set up, that's why I couldn't even get mad, because God had me covered, because God had me secure. My car was locked. God had security. You ain't got no better security than God. Here come my family coming up against me. I got security. Come on, can we drop that in the chat? I got security. I got some. Even if my family don't have my back, I don't need you to have my back. I got security. I have heavenly security. So I don't need an earthly father, because I have a heavenly father come on, God, Lord, I'm finna cry. I don't need an earthly father to have my back, because I have a heavenly father who got me no matter what. Come on, God. He got me when somebody tried to steal my car. He got me with my family coming up against me, and you don't know where the negative energy is coming from, but you know it's coming from somewhere. And then the Lord say, let me show you. And he got me in that. He got me in every meal that I don't need. I don't need anything down here, because I got everything up there. Lord, I hope this is tracking with somebody. When I be telling y'all, man, the way my faith is set up, this is why I can still get up every single day. This is why I came sans makeup. Now, let me show y'all how I come to my father, daddy help. Do you realize that if they had been successful, and if the Lord hadn't blocked what was attempted, y'all, I can't even begin to imagine. I just wouldn't even know what to. And all I could do is say, God, I just love you. I just love you. I just love you. Because there is no way that I have been so protected and so loved. And I don't care what anybody says about who they think I'm serving. There is no power strong enough to save me from the things that have happened in my life but God. But God. I can't make people believe in God. But my prayer is that this testimony will show somebody that God is real. Because there's no way that God has kept me covered. There's no way, y'all. This is why I love the Lord the way that I do. This is why I have the passion for the Lord and getting up here and doing this every day that I do. Because people really don't understand how safe He has kept me as I have been walking this journey of faith to just help people know who He is, to just help people know that He will do it for you if you just believe. There's so many things that I can just, and these are just two stories that I'm telling y'all that it's just like, man, y'all, if you just believe, I can't make you, but I hope that in your own life you can look and see and know and understand that you have security, that you have help. I don't have anything to brag on. I don't have anything to say that I did it because I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is saying, Lord, help. I didn't cry yesterday. I did not cry yesterday, y'all. As I was going through this experience, I did not shed one tear. All I had was gratitude. I went to sleep and I slept like a baby. I think I slept better last night than I have slept in so long. So this is the first time that and it has nothing to do with anything but just knowing like God really got my back, y'all. Like He really got my back. And it was some weapons came up against me yesterday in a multitude of ways. And I couldn't even cry about it. But today I can cry because I know that I have a God who really does make me feel secure. When I first put this on the calendar, I thought that what the Lord was going to be talking about was like how most women, we have a problem feeling safe because it's like we have a problem feeling safe. But the Lord completely changed that up this morning and said, no, that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the security that God brings. We're going to talk about the security that comes from having faith and knowing that the Lord is your security blanket. So I hope that in those stories that you will just understand the security that God provides. Because when I said the other day, I was like, people be like, well, what's your answer or what? And when I tell y'all, like, I mean it when I say I don't have any other answer but God. Can we just drop that in the chat? But God. But God. That's all I got. I can't make it up. But God. That's the only answer I have. Message. So I wanted to share that with y'all because for many of us This is why the Lord will move you away from people, especially family, because you can have less than what they have and they'll still feel some type of way. I told my daughter, even I say, if my dad really cared, which he doesn't, and I'm okay with that. If you really cared, you got a room. If you was concerned about my whereabouts and how I'm sleeping, and y'all, just the way he was just talking down, and my daughter was so mad, y'all. She was just like, well, why won't you do anything to help? And then she was just like, I'm done with it. She was like, but I just had to tell you. She was like, because I'm so tired of hearing about them talking about you. And I say, baby, we gonna give it to the Lord, and we not gonna worry about it. And so this also leads into, don't expect the people that are closest to you to understand your journey, your faith, your determination, your walk with God. They're not going to understand. And you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with sometimes taking a vacation from those people, and you still love them. I still love my dad. I'm praying for him. I want nothing but happiness and wellness and abundance in his life. Regardless of how you feel about me, God won't let me feel that type of way about you. It may have made me angry. I don't like what you do, but I don't love you any less. So adopt that attitude, because it's one of those, for they know not what they do. Sometimes people can be so blinded by their beliefs, not God's beliefs, their beliefs. Because you and God ain't believing the same way. Because if you were, then you would still be doing what God said, what Jesus said in the New Testament. He said, do unto others, love your neighbor as you would love yourself. That's what Jesus said. So you can't be listening to the same Jesus or reading the same Bible if you're not living that truth. But again, this goes back to pick and choose what you want to follow in the Bible. No, we're not going to do that. This is why I understand now why God said, go start working with Psalms 26. I will walk in my integrity. I walk in my integrity. So I understood it even more. So for whoever needed or received this part of the message, just know that God's got your back. And I'm not, for me, it's not pain, because understand, y'all, a big part of what the Lord sent me to California for 7 years ago was to do the healing work that was necessary for the abandonment wounds and rejection wounds. You do realize that the first person who really rejected me was my father, my dad. He rejected me, but he embraced other women's children. He raised not only his son, right, but he raised other women's children who he married. But he did not do that for me. And then he further has rejected me, just like he did when I was a kid. Remember, this is Shadow Work Wednesday, y'all. There's purpose in this. I didn't understand it, but this ain't the first time that my dad has done the dog to me, y'all. So understand this. Like, he's done this to me because of women. I know who he is. I've seen who he is. But he's also, I want you to be very mindful that this is generational. But the buck stops with me. Can we drop that in the chat? It stops with me. Because see, he was trying to make me, or he's trying to make my children, or well, my daughter, because the other two don't fool with him too much, right? Because of his relationship with his parents, he is now trying to create that. It's like he's trying to continue a cycle. Does that make sense? Because of the relationship he had with his father and with his mother, He's trying to come on the star, come on 5-star communications, come on 5-star communications, receive it. Then I just the star, come on, you better come on the star, right? That cycle stops with me. I'm not gonna have the relationship with my children that you have with me. I refuse. This where that work come in. Come on, do the work. This where you have to say, okay, I see I'm tracking. Okay, you know what? I love you, but I can release you with love, light, and healing energy, and my life gonna be just fine. And when you see me do exactly what I told you I was gonna do, don't because see, don't think when God elevates me to where He's taking me, because I know that He's taking me. Don't think that you're gonna be able to come back and everything. Oh, now you no, which is why I'm very public about this, because now those cycles are stopping with me. You're not gonna try to, because you couldn't do it with me to try to turn me against my mama. You're not going to do it with my children, because you had, and now you don't have the opportunity to do the healing with your parents that you should have done when they were alive. You better start talking. He better talk to them in the spiritual. Oh, that's right, you don't believe in that. You think, well, so now you feel guilty because you couldn't do the healing with your parents that you needed to do, because you know that you had a less than stellar relationship with your parents. So continue that cycle through my children. You could I almost cuss a word. It didn't. It did it. That's a no. That's not a no. That's a hell no. And I mean that in my spirituals. What you not gonna do? You ain't gonna try to make my children have that same relationship with me that you had with yours. And now you don't understand why you sitting over there unhealed and unhealthy and toxic, and don't understand why your life is what it is. You might need to do some work on yourself, sir. Love you, but I'm not. But you ain't gonna get no pass. You're not gonna get no pass. Not this time. No, 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 no. Don't understand. You ain't isolated. You pushing everybody away because you don't want to do no healing. And the people that you needed to heal with, the trauma you needed to heal from, you never took the opportunity to do it. See, I took the opportunity to heal with my children. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can't from your children, but you got to let them heal at their own pace and in their own speed. You can't force it. I did the healing with my mama, even if it was in the spirituals. That's why me and my mama have the relationship that we have now. And even when she was on earth, we didn't have, it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows like every parent and child relationship, but it was never nothing like this. My mama never tried to poison my children against me. We had our issues with my mama too. Why? Because she was addicted. She was popping pills. That's how she died. Now, on the flip side of that, let me tell you how good God is. I have a stepdad, right? This is the man who actually raised me and my sister. And my daughter she said, Mama, it's so crazy because she called my stepdad and was telling him about what my real dad had said. And she said, Mama, even if he don't agree with everything, she said one thing he ain't never did was try to make us feel no type of way about you. The one thing he has always said is, that's still your mama. So when I say moving forward, if I ever say my dad, I'm not talking about my biological father. I love you, but I release that relationship with love, light, and healing energy. You're going to see God do great and amazing things through me. You're going to see God take me to places that you only ever dreamed of. But that's not to say that I'm going to include you in those things. Whereas before, I was so wanting to include the people who I wanted to include them even though they don't like me. But God is teaching me that everybody doesn't deserve the blessings that I'm getting ready to give you. So when I tell y'all that even in my own life, I begin to understand why God will show you who is not meant to receive those blessings, because you're not going to do me any type of way and then think I'm just going to come bless you anyway. I'm not in that season of my life, because this has been a struggle. And my daughter said, and what's crazy is, as much she was like, I'm already going through this situation. And it's crazy that it's almost like instead of being supportive, it's like people trying to isolate me and make me be even further away from everybody. Does that make sense? Like, you ever been going through something and needed support? Like, this is the time when you're at your lowest point, when you really need support, when you really need help, when you really need somebody. Come on, God, the Hierophant. When you really need somebody, and that's when everybody seems to disappear. This is when you come to depend on God. This is when God tells you that because I love you, you really don't need anybody else. I can't make it up. This is a whole different deck, y'all. And here go the Lord saying, I said what I said. I meant what I said. People will try to keep you further isolated, thinking that, so is that the right thing to do? Why would you want someone who's already going through something traumatic? And really, that's the time when you should come together. But it's the time when it's like you trying to make people make sure that you go through something alone. To what end? And guess what? It's in that time, because it's a wilderness season, right? It's in that time when God shows up the most, to let you know, hey, it don't matter what they doing over there. I got you. I am your security. I am your security blanket. I got you. I got you. So I think that's the main message for today. This is, as we're looking at priorities, we're prioritizing relationships as well. We got to prioritize the people who really support you, who really believe in you, who really have your best intentions at heart. Doesn't mean if you hadn't gone through this healing, like I said, I've been going through this. The Lord started this healing journey, this part of my healing 7 years ago. And that's why it didn't really hurt what he said. It hurt more because my baby was mad, because she was hurt, right? But it don't hurt me when I hear negative things coming from my family or people who don't like me, because God loves me. I And as long as I know that God loves me, I'm gonna be all right. So even if it hurts, come on, royal lines, even if it hurts, even if you don't want to face it and don't want to deal with it, it's these types of things that you have to face and look at. Because a big part of my healing came from understanding that I had to, number one, heal rejection wounds, because why? I was actually dealing with men who were rejecting me. Does that make sense? So this is why we say shadow work. Your rejection wounds and your abandonment wounds, which I had from my dad because him and my mom got divorced when I was 7. Those wounds a lot of times stem from a deeper place. Then you begin to understand why you attract the same type of men or women. What was lacking in your parental figure as you were coming up, you will a lot of times, especially between like you'll it'll be an impression. Between the ages of 7 and 9 is when you're the most impressionable, and whether you realize it or not, and this is true, you can go look this up, that's when you're the most impressionable. And a lot of times it's because you at that point you're developing your sense of right and wrong, and so you will find yourself attracting certain types of people, friends, based upon the relationships that you had at that time. Abandonment, rejection came from my dad. So dealt with men who rejected me in one way, shape, form, or fashion until I healed that and understood where that wound stemmed from him. But once the Lord began to show me that, it then made me say, "Oh no, I'm not going to keep why an alarm that little truck just sounded like a whole alarm. Okay, I'm back. I cannot make it up. Message. Look at the type of men or women that you're attracting. Look at your parents. If you let's say you have a mama, because me and mama didn't heal this, right? You may have had a mother who wasn't loving, who wasn't nurturing, who didn't give you the love. Maybe you got it from both places. I tell y'all, I had a hard life. So I didn't really get that from either place. My family was hard on me. My mama she was not a gentle parent. She was a very strict, stern kind of parent. She wasn't a loving mother, but it was because she didn't receive that nurturing, right? The mothering that she needed. And so she didn't know how to give that. And as a result of that, this is how we start looking at these karmic cycles and these toxic cycles and these unhealthy cycles and within ourselves, so we can start doing the work and saying this is why forgiveness is so important. Some things you have to forgive because you didn't know any better, but some things you forgive because you have to face the fact that you didn't want to face what it was, but now you're going to face what it was, so that now you can heal from it, so you stop attracting those same type of people. So you stop attracting the same type of relationships, so you stop attracting those negative things in your life, those negative patterns and cycles, so that you can finally heal and move on and start attracting the things that you want to see in your life. Okay. Anything else on that? That's why I tell people shadow work is not easy. And they be talking about these shadow work journals. Man, you still be doing shadow work on stuff that you thought you didn't heal from. Just like it triggered me to get mad with what my dad said yesterday. Man, listen, that's why healing is a journey. It is a process. It's not a light switch. You don't flip the switch and all of a sudden you're healed. It just doesn't work that way. You continue to do the healing. You continue to do the healing. But I tell you one thing: if you have issues or problems with your parents, take the time. If you're able to do that, take the time that you can do with them to do the healing that you need to do. But if they are not willing to accept who you are, then they got to be just like everybody else, where you pray for them, you love them, and you let them go. You let them go. Because what I'm not going to do is because that was me. I was trying to force my dad to love me and to accept me. And then, but I never received it. Never. It just kept on being the same thing. So what did I eventually, and this was several years ago, I finally just had to say, you know what? I love you, but I'm releasing this, Lord, because I'm not going to keep, I kept on taking myself through the same cycle. He kept withholding love. He kept withholding emotion. He kept rejecting me. And every time it happened, I just found myself in this, you know, cycle of trying to force him to feel some type of way about me. When I was a nurse, he was good because I guess I had status or I was somebody. But it really made me that's what I used to tell myself, but I realized it was a lot, it was way before that. But I think it was really evident when I lost my nursing license, y'all. That's when he really, but at that point I was here. And I was just like, but I found myself in this cycle of just I wanted him to love me so bad and accept me and so bad, and I just never received it. But it was when the Lord called me and said, "Don't you?" And true story, you don't need His love, you need mine. And I still stand on that. This is why I feel safe and secure, because it's not anyone on earth whose love means the most to me, is God's. And as long as I know that God loves me, and that's it. That really is the most important thing. If I don't, because I don't want to say it's all you need, because you want love from other people and compassion. You want those types of relationships. But when you start with God's love and really understand it and really accept it, then everything else that comes in, it's like knowing that you'll never deal with toxic relationships, right? Because if you can't love me on the same level that my God loves me, then we're not gonna get along, and you ain't gonna be able to get there, because God's love is God's love, but you gonna have to have it's gonna have to be close to it. Okay, so I hope this helps somebody. Come on, 811. I kept seeing that number yesterday, the number 811, and I looked it up, and it actually means a cluster of grapes. It means a bunch of grapes. I didn't look up both of the definitions, but I kept seeing 811 yesterday, and I looked it up on the way home from me and my daughter coming from the gym. I looked it up. hmm So, yes. Look, Sandy said there's always going to be something to heal from. There is. There's always going to be something to heal from. But I kid you not, one thing about it, y'all, is that your family, unfortunately, not everybody, but your family will be your best teachers. Your family and the relationships that you have with your family are oftentimes the best teachers. Even though it hurts, they're the best teachers, because they will help prepare you for people out in the world. Come on, a fresh start. It will prepare you for being out in the world. For younger people, if you depending regardless of how old you are, your closest relationships, especially your family, are going to help you pick a mate, pick a person that you're going to spend your life with, or it's going to help you pick your friends. Like, you'll start to understand that, and you'll start to understand why the relationships you have in your life are what they are. Your family is your best teacher. True story. And God will show you, and it's not always good, it's not always bad, but it's a lot of time, for just depending on how you grew up. For a long time, y'all, I didn't understand, and this is one of the things that I used to talk to the Lord about. I'm like, man, Dad, I've just been through so much, like starting from a little bitty girl. Like, this ain't like my come on, the son, hey mom, like, I done been through so much in my life that I just didn't understand, like, why did I have to go through all of this? Like, man, you mean from birth. It seemed like from birth, my family has always just it's been hard. I had a very hard life coming up. And that hadn't changed a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't really understand why I had to why I had to go through those things. It's when them conversations with God be like, Daddy, why I got to go through all of this? Sometimes this where, like, I was never envious or jealous, but I'd be like, man, you see families that get together and love each other and spend time together, and my family is so disconnected, y'all. The few of us, first of all, it ain't but a few of us left, right? But my family has always been so separated, and so, like, nobody gets along, and everybody just in their own little world. There's no cohesiveness. And so I'll use the word envy. I used to be envious of people who had big families and people spent time together. I used to be envious of people who had, siblings, sisters, and brothers who actually liked them and cared about them and, protected them. And I always try to be there for my sister, but my sister ain't never, but that's a story. My siblings will be a story for another day. I always was there for my sister, but at the end of it, my sister has always had a dislike for me. And I never knew why. But as time went on and I stopped taking care of my sister, I understand more about it. Um, and I always used to look and be like, man, that must be nice to be a part of a big family and do family gatherings and think. But it's just like we never had that. There was always just separation. We could don't. It's like people we talk like not me because I don't talk about them. But I always looked and said, man, that must be a beautiful thing to have. It must be nice to go to family reunions and cookouts and stuff like that because we never had that as I was growing up. And even into like that's nothing that we ever had. And so I always said, man, that must be nice. It wasn't meant for me to have, and I'm okay with that. Um, and I wanted that for my children as well. It's like wanting my children to have a good relationship with each other because I would never want my children to have the relationship that me and my sister have. And it's not because, and I'm just be keep it a buckles. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's the God's honest truth because all I've ever done is try to help my sister and be a good sister, but I just have never received that from her. And so, you know, you just that's why I say like your family will teach you sometimes a big family is just as bad as a separate family. It probably is. But it's just not anything I have experience on. I'm sure it could be, but I wouldn't know because I don't have any experience with it. So I can only speak on my family, you know, and you see where people get together and people, it's all this different stuff going on. But I'm just like, man, if we could just love each other and it wouldn't it be great to just get together and have fun and just what I'm saying? But anyway, it hurts to see family getting together and leaving you out. I imagine it does. I truly, again, I don't have any experience with that. So, for me, it was always like, man, it must be great to have a big family because that's not something I experienced. I'm more than sure that they have their problems, but in my head, my vision of it was like, man, wouldn't it be great to have a great family that gets along and hangs out and has, cookouts and things like that. Not saying that because every family has their problems, but when I'm looking at having a big family, I'm not looking at it as, man, I wish my dysfunctional family would all come together and us be us who we are now. You know what I'm saying? It's like visualizing and seeing the family that you wish you could have. It exists in every family, y'all. It exists in every family. Please don't get it twisted. It's not the family, it's the family dynamics, right? It's the like we just got done talking about, it's the cycles. That's why you have to be the person who says it stops with me. You can't change how people are. Toxicity exists in every relationship, every family. We cannot excuse that it happens. But the thing about it is, when you begin to recognize it, it's like that's why if it's in your family, how can you be the one to stop some of these things so that as new family comes into being, that the same cycle is not continued, the same cycles are not repeated. It's the same thing that I was talking about. I'm not going to allow my dad to make me or my children have the relationship that he had with his parents. I'm not going to do it. I'm not allowing myself to have the same relationship with my children have the same relationship with me that my mama had with her mama. They loved each other, no doubt, but I'm way softer with my children than my mama ever was with me. Come on, palm trees, than I ever was with me, or she was with me and my sister. Okay. The grapes are the harvest. 811 has been consistently showing up for the past 4 to 6 months. I receive it. Come on, Ace of Pentacles and the strength card up under that. I receive it. I receive it. So I hope that made sense. Yes, there's toxicity in every family. We know that. But we're gonna make the decision that it's if it's you and your children, then we're not going to continue those cycles so that so we can't keep saying, well, it's that's just how the family is. Well, how do we change it? You can't change them, but we can choose not to perpetuate the toxicity, not to keep repeating the cycles. And sometimes it's as simple as changing the dynamic. And maybe sometimes that's all you can do is change the dynamic with you and your children so that they have a different experience, so that when they go out and have children, or if they join other people's families, maybe they can be the light in their family, the light in their children, or the change. And so they'll continue to start creating healthier family dynamics. Does that make sense? So we don't want to focus. We can't, but because the thing is, everybody just keeps on repeating the same thing, and we just want to do what we can to change that message. So um, that's all, y'all. That's all I got. Again, shadow work Wednesday, right? It's That's why I'm glad we changed this from Friday to Wednesday, because we can't not face the difficult and challenging things in our lives. We have to take an opportunity to say, man, if this resonated with you on any level, you have to be able to look at your own life and say, man, this is what I've been feeling, or this isn't the anger that I have towards whoever the person is, why forgiveness letters are so important, why the forgiveness has to happen. Because understand, I forgive my dad for it. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. I'm in this case, there's some things where you have to give forgiveness, even if they don't deserve it. Why? Because God forgave us, and He continues to, even if we don't deserve it. hmm even when we don't deserve it, that's grace, right? He gives us grace. So we have to give grace to those even if we don't think they deserve it, because it's not our place. Ultimately, that's for God. And at the end of ends, God is God. He gonna have to square every person, whoever the person is in your life who this message resonated about or for. At the end of the end, they gonna have to face God. Ain't no getting around it. You gonna have to come to the carpet. You gonna have to come to the carpet. You gonna have to square up for how you lived your life and for everything. So that's why you just got to walk in your integrity and just be like, even if somebody treated me wrong, I'm not gonna retaliate. I'm not gonna wish evil on them. I'm not gonna talk again. I'm not gonna do that, because I don't want God to be like, yeah, but you remember when such and such did such and such, and remember how you reacted, remember how you responded, remember what you did to get that get back. I ain't even, I'm gonna just let God fight for me. I'm just let God handle it. He got it. Because all of us got to meet God at the end of ends. That's that life evaluation. At the end of it all, you got to meet God. You gonna have to face Him. And what are you going to be able to say? Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's why I said I'll forgive them, but I'll never forget. True story. True story. You can forgive, release, and let it go and keep on. You know what I did yesterday, y'all? When I left my daughter's house, I got in the shower. And a lot of times I talk to God in the shower, even though I'm in the gym, right? But I'm in the shower, and I just stood there, and I told God exactly what I told y'all. I say, Lord, I say, you know my heart. And that's why I can say why I said this to y'all. I say, if you ever want to see me mess with my children. I told God that yesterday. Like, I can't, God He knows my heart. I told Him that in the shower yesterday. I was like, Lord, you know they the one thing I don't play about. But I released it, and I'm a visualization person. When I got in that shower yesterday, I washed all of that off of me. I Let me scrub head to toe. Let me scrub all of this energy off, this negativity off. I said I got my anger out. I said what I wanted to say, and then I washed, and I imagined all of it. It went right down the drain with the soap and the water. Goodbye. Because what I'm not going to do is carry your negative energy or your negative vibes. I'm not going to. Maybe somebody needs to start doing that if you have a lot of negativity that you deal with, to help cleanse yourself, to help release that energy from you. Maybe you need to cleanse yourself and wash yourself. And when you and tell like, I release this with love, light, and healing energy as you in the shower and as you taking a bath. Maybe you need to release it that way. I don't know, because I wasn't even going to share that, but I'm sharing that, right? Because what I'm not, that's probably why I slept the way that I did. That's why I slept so good last night. And before I knew it, it was 4 a.m. And I was like, wait, what? Normally I toss and turn all night, tossing and turning. But last night I did not. Last night I actually felt like I rested. Even though I felt like I needed a little energy this morning, I woke up and I said, you know what, Lord, I hadn't had an energy drink in a minute. I'm going to get one because I got a lot I got to get done today. And I also feel like I needed it because I knew that what I was going to be talking about today was very heavy. But I tell y'all, I don't hold on to energy. It be done. Like, because I'm not going to carry that, because I make room in my life for prosperity, swamp life, right? I have to, so I release those things that maybe make me feel some type of way so that I can make room for my success, room for my wealth, room for my abundance, room for my money, room for my peace, room for my prosperity, because those are the only things that I have room for. All I got, and although I ain't got room for that, I ain't got room for that. So whatever you need to do to start releasing and making room, Ola, do it. Like, and all I do is I tell y'all different stuff that I do because I'm just like, yo, I really do this stuff, y'all. Like, why? So that's why I can just be good. Like, I have my moment, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm back. Cause I'm not finna let any of that cloud, if you will, because they're saying like murky. I'm not gonna let you murky up my energy. I'm not gonna let you do that, because I work very, I'm very, or attempt to be, because I understand warfare. Let me say that, because I understand warfare, and that was just warfare, right? Remember, gosh, this is such a message. Remember, I tell y'all that, and this is in your own life, when the enemy knows you're close to elevation at for whatever that elevation is. When one thing doesn't work, he'll try something else. So this ain't new for me, y'all. Like, I have had my family members to come up against me before. It's been my sister, it's been my uncle, it's been my children. This time it happened to be my dad. Do you understand? Whenever the Lord is getting ready to do something, if there's something, like for me, I know exactly what it is, y'all. Y'all know on Monday, I'm getting ready to have the opportunity to go sit in the audience at the J Hud show. Shout out J Hud. I have this opportunity coming up. Whenever I have something that is getting ready to happen that is positive in my life, it's always an attack. It don't fail. This time, what was it? He thought he was going to come at me with my dad. That ain't going to work, sir. But he tried to spin it differently. This time he tried to go through my child to make me get out of character, because the enemy knows that my children are the one thing ain't no play about. So he used my dad as the weapon to go against my children, to try to come against me. And not only that, when that didn't work, oh, that she didn't feel, she didn't get stupid behind that. Let me go mess with the one thing that she has, my car. Wait a minute, so I just be in expectation. I just be like, guess what? I'm not worried. I am secure. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me. And you're not gonna. Well, it used to be money. He used to have me so focused on money, being broke and not having enough. Every Y'all, this is it's just not new. I'm gonna have to do a message on warfare, and I don't talk about it a lot, but this is not new, y'all. Anytime that I've had something positive, whether it's releasing an oracle tarot or a tarot deck, whether it's starting something, going somewhere, having an opportunity, whatever it is, there's always something that comes up. And I'll be like, OMG, ain't nobody tried to never mess with my car. Ain't nobody never tried to do that. That didn't work. So what's next? I literally be like, and that's why the Lord said, don't worry about it. You're secure. Okay, Lord. Like warfare is a real thing, y'all. Warfare is a real thing. And the more you just keep pushing through, the more you keep telling the enemy, not today, Satan. Like he get mad. He not gonna leave you alone when you out there doing positive things and helping people. The attacks are going to get worse. Do you see that this is like the worst? This is like OMG, you trying to you now you try you what? I felt like Job for a second. The Lord, did you consider my servant Job? Like, what you thought that I was gonna do? Turn against God or Lord, why me? No, all this is doing is moving me closer to God. Why? Because I know I'm secure. As long as I keep following the Lord and listening to the Lord and doing what the Lord has asked me to do, I know my security is guaranteed. It doesn't going through trials and tribulations doesn't take me well, I'm going to say that now it doesn't take me further away from God. It brings me closer. That's why when you feel like, even if you don't know if it's actual warfare, even if you, whether you know or whether you don't, if you feel like you're going through something, go to God, go read your Bible, go pray, go journal, do something creative, channel the energy, transmute it, do something with it that is going to bring you closer to God, because that's how you beat the enemy. That's how you actually win the warfare that you're coming up against. Oftentimes, until you recognize and realize what's happening, you'll let the warfare take you further away, because you'll get lost in what the test is or what the challenge is or what the obstacle is. Or it's like I just read this somewhere and I think I wrote it. Matter of fact, it's the definition of security, because I wrote it this morning. The state of being free from danger or threat, the state of being or feeling secure, freedom from fear, danger, and doubt. That's why all of this happens. That's why you go through the warfare, because the enemy wants you to start doubting God. I ain't got no doubt in my mind about God. And it ain't nothing. I don't care what it is. Whether if they would have got the car, guess what? I'm still gonna believe in the Lord to give me another one. I Because you're not gonna make me turn against God. Like, it's just not gonna happen. He's brought me through too much for me to not believe in him. Too much. Too much. So when you start to feel, if you feel like you're going through warfare, that is not, the enemy wants you to feel that way, and he wants you to doubt, and he wants you to pull back, and he wants you to stop listening to motivational messages, and he wants you to stop going to Bible study, and he wants you to stop reading your Bible, and he wants you to stop praying. That's what he wants you to do. Because when you go to God, God gonna be like, don't worry about it. I got you. Don't worry about that. If the Lord would have removed it, my mind said, oh, he finna bless me with something better. He got to be. If he let them take this, then he got to be getting ready to bless me with something better. It got to be a big blessing coming in. Big back blessings, period. It got to be a big back blessing coming in. Got to be. Because ain't no way that the Lord would allow this to be removed if he wasn't going to replace it with something better. That's why I tell y'all, I don't give the enemy credit for things in my life. Because if anything happened, it's because the Lord allowed it. If something happens in my life, it's because the Lord allowed it to happen. Now I don't. Oh, the enemy did. Now God, okay, God, maybe you wanted to test. Maybe he wanted to see how I was going to react. Or are you going to believe in me? Are you going to trust in me? Absolutely, Lord. Okay, well, that just means there's something better coming in. I consciously try to live my life that way. And it's not always easy, because sometimes the things that happen in your life make you be like, this can't be God. It's all God, because he's in control. And that's how I live my life. I just be like, well, if it's not this, then it's something else. Well, if it's not him or her, then it's got to be something else. If it's not that job, then it's got to be something better. Message. So anyway, that's that. I hope that helps somebody. We're not gonna doubt. That's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna doubt God. We have to remember that he is our security. So in your time of feeling, as you're going through your own trials and tribulations and your own warfare, it's gonna hit you in different ways. It's never typically the enemy is not gonna hit you the same way each time. He's not. Why? Because you're gonna become, when you become aware of what's happening, those same things are not going to affect you the same way. So just keep that in mind. And instead of pulling away from God, and I understand sometimes as you're going through stuff, it's just like you don't, it's when you, if you start feeling like you don't want to do those things that are godly, you need to make yourself do it. You need to make yourself do it. And you, even if you mad when you're doing it, even when you crying, if you're doing it, even whatever you feeling when you're doing those things that you know bring you close to God, you got to do it. Hmm. Look, new levels, new devils. I didn't understand, y'all, and understand this. I have no idea where the Lord is taking me. Like, I'm just every day I just be like, okay, Lord, what amazing thing are you going to do? And you don't really understand what new levels, new devils means until you go through different levels of warfare. You just do not, y'all. Like, and then you start, because the same things that from the lower levels are not what you gonna get on the higher levels, and you don't understand it. And I don't even be thinking, like, I message, like, I just be like, man, what? You don't even be looking at things that way. Or I don't, but then I understand it, because I'm just like, that's, and so again, you'll start, when you start going through stuff like that, man, you'll start to understand, be like, okay, Lord, you finna transition something, you finna shake something up, you must be finna do something. There's got to be a transition. There's got to be something coming into my life that the enemy is trying to keep me away from. You got to be, it must be a blessing, because ain't no way all this is coming up against me. And I like that, there's got to be a reason. And so whenever stuff like this starts happening, and it's like back to back to back to back to back things that are happening, I'm like, okay, Lord, what's happening? Some got to be happening, like, oh, something good, or I know I have some, man. It's crazy, y'all. Like, but I just to be like, okay, Lord, well, take the wheel. So anyway, Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Um, Yeah, I know Wednesdays are, it's probably the hardest day, but I promise you it's the most important, because if we can just learn to really start talking about this stuff, y'all, and I can't wait. Like, I really am going to start giving other people the opportunity. I don't care if you want to talk about next week something that we talked about this week. Like, I really want people to start having the opportunity to talk about their own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I just know how important it is to not be talking about this stuff, right? We know what you mean. We know what that mean, enemy. So why you so hype? Oh yes, my blessings coming. Period. Okay, price check. Price check. Tell me, y'all. So anyway, because I tell you, the Lord will put you around people who understand. He'll put you around people who understand. The Lord on the cut, the Lord will put you around people who understand. He will put you around people who will be able to resonate with your story and make you understand that your test is your testimony, your message is your mess, and your strength, your story is your strength. Okay. My mess is my message, my test is my testimony, and my story is my strength. Okay. Six of Wands up under that. That's it. That's all I got. That's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. I never be knowing where the Lord gonna take me when because sometimes I feel like he just be freestyling. He be freestyling, but I receive it. But it also, it still just blows my mind, because it's like me being able to just give, like, let me tell y'all what happened from here to here, so you can see these things in your own life and just start to relate, I hope relate to this story. Um, as you go through your own journey. I'm grateful and I'm thankful that the Lord is allowing me to share this story with y'all and just helping y'all to see and hopefully reflect in your own life and just be like, okay, Lord, I see how this part resonates. Everything ain't gonna resonate at the same time, but hopefully it triggers something within you so that you can start to do that healing in your own life. And this is not just today, but especially today, because the healing is what opens up the pathways, I feel like, for abundance and things to manifest. And it really just allows us to release and make room for the blessings and the inheritance and the abundance. And it doesn't mean that you won't continue to go through things, but the things that you go through won't be as hurtful once you start healing from those. No matter how long it takes, you really does help you to be and become the best version of yourself. So that's it. Lord, I hope this helps somebody. Y'all, hydrate your soul in things, drink your water, say your gratitude, have a fantastic and an amazing day in purpose and on purpose. I don't know what's on the calendar for tomorrow, but we did our healing work, we did our shadow work for today. So y'all go be great and amazing. Thank y'all so much for all the likes, the shares, the comments, the subscribes, the love. Thank you for reposting the videos as well, y'all. I'm so truly grateful. Thank y'all so much for helping the messages to get out there to as many people as possible so that they can be uplifted, encouraged, motivated, inspired. It means so much. Thank y'all so much. Yes, we have Thankful Thursdays tomorrow. We didn't started developing a theme, okay? We didn't started developing a theme. Mondays we get motivated. Tuesdays we talk about money. Wednesdays we do shadow work. Thursdays, so tomorrow our theme will be, what are we going, we're going to be talking about all things that we are going to be grateful for, right? Um all gratitude on tomorrow, and then Friday we just be ready to have a fantastic and an amazing weekend. So that's it. Um, Thank y'all again. I'm truly grateful. Thank you for allowing me to share my story. Thank you for tapping in with me today. Me too. I'm so glad. Y'all have no idea, because I think what it was, but the thing was originally, right, on Fridays, we were talking about love because Friday is Venus Day. But the Lord, I didn't know until recently, of course, that the Lord was going to start transitioning this to more of dealing with healing issues. That really has just happened over the last, I guess, maybe the last month. Because at first I wasn't even talking about love. I wasn't talking about any of that kind of stuff. I wasn't focused on none of that. And I thought we were going to be talking about relationship issues, but the Lord was like, no, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to start talking about the things that we need to heal from. So, as y'all know, this whole show for me is a work in progress, and it continues to evolve and it continues to be what the Lord wants it to be. And so as he continues to do that, that's why now, even like he literally just said it in Jay Cause, he was like, I'm glad we moved this to Thursdays. I had no idea we were going to be doing shadow work like this on Wednesdays. Like I had no idea that was where the Lord was going to take us, because a lot of people want to know about relationships, but any relationship has to start with self. And so we moved away from talking about the things like, it went from being interpersonal to intrapersonal is what I would say. But I didn't know that was the direction the Lord wanted to go until he's began to kind of develop this and say, hey, move that from here to there so that we can start doing some healing and start talking about things that people don't be wanting to talk about because you may be afraid, or right, or just, you know what I'm saying, things that you just bottled up and not allowed yourself to really feel and express and or really deal with, even though it's probably the one thing that you're holding on to that's keeping you from moving forward on your path and on your journey. And so as I'm always talking about, what do we need to release and make room for? And so as the Lord just continues to develop this, I just be like, hey, that's a good idea. As y'all continue to give ideas and just let me know, like, what is helpful for you, I feel like that's why I be like, hey y'all, what's good for y'all? Because this is none of what I'm doing is about me. Does that make sense? I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to help people heal in whatever way the healing needs to happen. If it's finances, okay, we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. If it's family and relationships and healing within yourself, okay, we're going to talk about that on Wednesday. And then we're going to make sure on Monday we're going to be motivated to have a great and amazing week. And then on Thursdays, we're going to be grateful for the things that we released on Wednesday and Tuesday, because the Lord is just allowing me and He's continuing to develop me into who and what he wants this to be, because I allow him to show me what he wants me to help his people heal, right? So he first heals those things with me or through me or for me, or with me, should I say, so that I can come and then say, hey, y'all, healing works. Like, let's talk about this today. We need to heal our money energy. So many people are going through financial struggles. So, what does the Lord allow me to do? He allows me to help y'all see wealth ain't got nothing to do with how much money you have in the bank. The Lord blesses me with everything that I need. I may not be a millionaire or billionaire yet, but He's gonna send me there, and I receive that. But He's allowed y'all to see that money is not an issue. If you have God, you're going to be wealthy. You're going to have money. You're going to have resources. If you have God, you're going to heal. You're going to grow. You're going to develop. If you have God, there's no other, nothing. Everything that we do, the foundation is God, right? So just know that, right? Just know that he's always going to be the foundation. Hey, dearest one, have a blessed day. Thank you so much. Blessings received in return. So just keep that in mind with whatever you're going through, that, if you put him as the foundation, it's all going to work. He's developing this as he wants it to be, what he wants it to be. And I'm just the platform that he's using to do it in that way, if that makes sense. So anyway, I hope that helps somebody. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the direction that it's going in, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. So y'all come tomorrow full of gratitude, full of thankfulness. Do your reflection, do whatever journaling and healing work you need to do today, as we reflected on these family dynamics and the relationships that we have. Come on, Six of Swords, and then come on, 66, and then the 10 of Pentacles up under that. We receive it, okay? Like, because tomorrow, come on, we receive the balance. We receive what the Lord is doing and what he's moving us into. Okay, that's it. I got to go in the Wally world today. I got to go pick up some things for myself. So y'all go be great and amazing, do great and amazing things. Thank y'all so much for tapping in today. I am truly, truly grateful, and I will see y'all in the morning. Okay, go be great and amazing, do great and amazing things, and I love y'all in real life. Hydrate your soul and things, drink your water, say gratitude. I didn't say it. Okay, well, now I said it. Okay, I love y'all in real